Yo, what's going on, peeps? Welcome to a random review. Derek here, bringing you something very exciting because what I watched today is I watched the new film called Slimy Little Bastards. Let me give you some info on this film. I don't have a physical copy. I was watching a screener. It's directed by Dave Parker. If you don't know who Dave Parker is, probably know him better from his YouTube name, Mr. Parker. He's a fellow YouTuber. He does reviews on movies too. I actually watched him before I even started YouTube, and yeah, I like his videos a lot. And if you also don't know, he actually stars in a lot of indie films. Like he was in Headless, he was in Skinless. He's in a bunch of the Dustin Mills films, and he wrote and directed this, and it actually stars Brandon Sawkill, Dustin Mills, Aaron R. Ryan. There's a lot of other familiar faces from Dustin Mills films in this film. He wrote and directed this, and the film and title is Slimy Little Bastards. Now, I was going in blind on this because I knew very little about this film. I saw like artwork and stuff for it, but it was kind of cool that I found out this is actually like a horror anthology based off like little monsters, and I really enjoy those type of films. Like I grew up with like Ghoulies, Troll, and stuff like that, and then this has like the same kind of vein, sort of. But I like how there are three different stories with like different creatures and stuff in it. Now let me get into the and the other cool thing I forgot to mention. This actually does have a wraparound story, which is really cool because I love anthologies of wraparound stories. And let me get into the main plot of this one. Now the main plot is we're introduced to this character known as the Curator, who's played by Brandon Sawkill. And when you first meet him, he's actually in the basement, and he has this creature with him called, I believe its name is Nipper, and he's unpacking a bunch of boxes with these jars and stuff, and what appears to be in this jar is like these slimy substances, which you don't really know what they are, but you know that there's something up with them at the same time. What happens is somebody ends up knocking on the Curator's door, and he like asks for a jack or something because they say their car broke down. And what happens is the Curator takes this man downstairs, and he tells him three tales of these three jars that are on his mantle, per se. The first jar is the story Organic Shit. Yeah, that's the name of the actual short, which is cool, Organic Shit. The main plot of this story involves like, it's kind of like a contained horror film because it only takes place in one setting, which I really like. And pretty much what happens is this guy calls a maintenance guy to come check out his sink because it's clogged up really bad, and the thing inside the sink is actually a creature, so it's pretty much him trying to stop this creature from attacking him type deal in this small little setting. It's a very interesting little cool story. I actually liked how the ending. I thought it was kind of a funny way to end the story, and I actually enjoyed the way the story went. And yeah, and then it goes back into like the wraparound, and then it tells the second story, which is called Brain Busters, which is a really cool story with a little artistic motif in it. With Aaron R. Ryan's character, she's actually going to a therapist, and who's played by Dustin Mills, and the therapist, I forget his last name. I know his first name was like Lance, but he prescribes her this weird like prescription. What this stuff does to her, she pours it in her ear. It dwells on her emotions, and it actually brings her emotions to life in the form of like this little creature. The cool thing is with this creature though is every time she has a different emotion, it has actually a different color face to show what emotion she was feeling when she was taking the drug. And this creature ends up killing the people that brought her this emotion, which I thought was a really interesting story and a way of like expressing it. It had a lot of like artistic value to it, this story, and I highly enjoyed it, and I liked how it ended. And then we get into the third story, the Krusties, which is really fun. And it has like homages to Ghoulies in it, and I really enjoy that. It's pretty much about like this construction worker who's actually played by Dave Parker. He ends up ingesting toxic waste. It's on his like a sandwich, I believe, and he gets really sick, and he ends up going home. His roommates are all having a big I believe it's like a Dungeons and Dragons type game they're playing, and what happens is he actually has to go to the bathroom, so he takes it, and then what ends up happening is that toxic waste stuff absorbs and turns into these little monsters and start attacking the friends, and it's pretty much them trying to survive. It kind of has the same feel as the first story, but what's cool is one of the creatures has this hallucinogenical stuff that makes them believe that they're outside in the woods. It's kind of cool. And yeah, I really enjoyed that story because it had a lot of references to Ghoulies in it, especially part 2. Another thing I forgot to mention about this film is it has this awesome like score to it. Like it has kind of like a carnival feel to it, which kind of reminded me of Ghoulies 2 too, with these little creatures, which I highly enjoyed. And the acting for the most part is decent. There's a few over the top performances. I believe like Brandon Salkill's the main character he played, because they actually played dual characters in this film. The curator, who tells us these stories, he actually, his performance is, I think, meant to be over the top, because he's like a Vincent Price type in this type of film. He actually, when we first see him, he's wearing a red cape. He's very mysterious, but I actually enjoy like acting like that too, so it didn't really take me out of the film. Now the special effects, they're mostly like puppetry and stuff. They look good for the most part. I think in some scenes they look better than others, but if they show them too much, you can tell they're kind of fake. But I actually enjoy special effects like this because I actually rather practical effects in films anyways. And I highly enjoyed this anthology. It had a great wraparound story, and I actually enjoyed like all the stories in the film, and I gave Dave Parker credit because he loves films and he wanted to make his own film, and he shows his love for films. There's actually a lot of references in the film, a lot of like cool stuff in the background of and especially in the first story. There's a lot of great posters and stuff, and I believe and then later on you see like, I believe it's Dave's collection in the background. I could be wrong, and all his films and stuff, which was really good because you show this film was made by film lovers, and it has heart. And if I had to rate Slimy Little Bastards for a first time watch, I'm gonna give it a solid 7 out of 10. It was a fun ride and stuff, and I highly enjoyed it. I know this is coming on DVD soon. I'm not really sure, but I'm going to leave the link to the Facebook page for this film in my details section of this video. So yeah, check out Slimy Little Bastards when it comes out on DVD. So that's all I got for this random review, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and hope to hear back from you soon. Like, subscribe, and comment if you've seen Slimy Little Bastards or want to know any more information about it. And I'll see you soon. Peace out.